Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about speech to text and text to speech using FlutterFlow. And of course we'll use some custom codes to do this, but keep in mind that this is free, so speech to text and text to speech is free. So this is great. And another thing that I have to mention is that I'll actually use OpenAI in order to show you how speech to text and text to speech work. I'll actually use the abbreviations which are SST, so speech. So it's STT and TTS. So STT and TTS. So STT it's speech to text and text to speech is TTS. So STT, so yeah, let's first see it in action. So let's see how it works. And I have a button here, and which when I press this button, I can actually talk to the AI. So in this case, I'm using ChatGPT 3. It's 3, it's not 4. And the reason for that it's not 4 is because we don't have an API, or the API is not yet available to the public for the ChatGPT 4, and that's why we're using ChatGPT 3 in this example. How you can set up the ChatGPT 3, I actually did a video about it, so you can search, so you can see it in my channel. Let me see. So actually this is the video. It's called ChatGPT 3 featuring FlutterFlow, the perfect duo for AI powered conversation to talk back to you. To talk back to you for free. So this is the video that I'm talking about. It is in my channel, Dimitar Kleturov, it's my name, or at FlutterFlow Expert. And then how this is actually working, because before that in this video I'm actually showing how you can set up the API call for the ChatGPT 3 and then how the ChatGPT 3 can talk back to you. But now I'll show you how you can talk and transfer this to text and then send it to ChatGPT 3 using the API, and then the ChatGPT 3 will answer you as a text, but you can hear his answer. So let's try asking, because I'm originally from Bulgaria, and let's try to ask what are the neighboring countries around Bulgaria. I think this is a complex question, to be honest, and most of the people actually don't know the answer to it. I don't know how I can ask it, but okay, let's try this. List me all the neighbor countries of Bulgaria.
The capital of Bulgaria is Sofia.
Okay, so now you see that Bulgaria, it didn't actually recognize it, so probably I should zoom a little bit, right? So Bulgaria didn't really recognize it. I get it, so I put the recognized text over here. So the second text is the recognized text, and the first text is actually the answer of the ChatGPT 3. Okay, so let's try something else because Bulgaria didn't recognize it. So what are the neighboring countries of Bulgaria?
I am sorry, but Bulgaria is a fictional place and does not have any real-life neighboring countries.
Okay, so to be honest, I don't know why it says Bulgaria. The last time it was Bulgaria, and now it's not, obviously, so it should not say this. Okay, so let's try with something else because I think it struggled with Bulgaria. So I asked who invented the iPhone, but I didn't record this. So let's ask who invented the Android. Who invented Android?
Android was developed by a team of developers at Android Inc., which was led by Andy Rubin. In 2005, Google acquired Android Inc. and continued to develop the operating system, leading to its official release in September 2008.
Yeah, so yeah. you can actually hear the AI talking back to you, and you can ask questions and you can talk to the AI. So the limit about this right now is that I didn't actually connect the API with the answer that were already asked. So what I try to say is that if you ask something, for example, who invented Android, and then they answer, for example, Andy Rubin in this case. The lead team was it was led by Andy Rubin, and then if I ask how old was he, for example, it will not know who you're talking about. And the reason for that is that it's because I actually did it. I actually don't send the history conversation, and the reason for that is that because in theory, in the ChatGPT 3, you only have 3,000 characters that you can send to the ChatGPT, and actually those 3,000 characters are your history. So the whole idea is that if you want to have history in ChatGPT, you have to send what you asked, and also you have to send the answer. So this is actually how ChatGPT works under the hood. Probably it's something that it's strange, and it's something that most of the people don't know. But this is actually how it works. It actually, as I said, it's actually sending you the answer, and it's sending you the question and the answer. And if I now ask another question, it will actually send the answer to the question, and it will keep on sending those until it reaches 3,000 characters. Now, when it reaches 3,000 characters, it will actually stop, and it will actually remember, so to say, until the 3,000 characters that you have. So because of that limitation, this is the one reason I choose not to send the history to ChatGPT, and the other idea is that you can actually have tokens, right? So when you're sending, it's actually paid, and when you actually sending API requests to the ChatGPT, you pay for 1,000 tokens. So in the reality, if I want to send the whole available conversation or the history, my limit is 3,000 characters, like I said, and I have to pay for the 3,000 characters, and that's why I have to pay like, I don't know, like 10 times more, or 300 times more than just asking something and then get the answer. In my case over here, I just wanted to show you that this is possible. I wanted to show you the code, and you guys can actually, if you want to implement, you can implement it in other languages. I will show you how you can do it, and you can also include the history as well. There is actually an official video from FlutterFlow, and they're using ChatGPT as well. So they have like a conversational AI, not a conversational, sorry, but the chat AI. So you can chat with the ChatGPT using an app, for example, or FlutterFlow. So I think they actually explain how you can send. But like I said, the whole idea is to actually send the whole conversation. This would be like a JSON. So this would be like the what you are sending is a JSON. So it would be like a list of JSONs when you are sending that. So let's go to the next step, which is to actually show you how the code is working. So this is my project that I use all the time, and first is text to SST, which is speech to text. And when I go to my custom code, this is a custom, it's not a custom widget, it's a custom action, and a custom action is called speech to text. And I'm only using a package here, and this package is free, like I said. And the package that I'm using is this one. Speech to text is constantly updated with the time of the recording of the video. It's 3 months ago, which is great, and it's Dart 3 compatible, which is great. and you have it for iOS, macOS, and web. Actually, another important thing is that I forgot to mention is that in order to test this, this will only work using web deployment. So keep that in mind. It will only use in web deployment. It will not use with test mode and run mode. And the reason for that is that in order to test this, you need to have access to the microphone, and you don't have access to the microphone when you're using test mode and run mode. So keep that in mind. In order to test this, you can test it either on your phone, or you can test it using web deployment. So you go to settings. I will not show you because it's very easy. Just go to settings. It says web deployment. Click there and then just publish. Click on publish and you're good to go. Okay, so let's go back to the speech to text. So this is the code for speech to text. I will share it in my GitHub. This is my GitHub, so you can actually find the code, all the codes for my videos there, and you're free to contribute if you want to. This is, like I said, this is the code. You don't need to exclude it from compilation this time, like most of the code that I'm showing needs to do it because of the source code, because you're using the source code of FlutterFlow, but this time, in this case, you don't need it. And let's go through the code. So you can actually copy and paste it. Just copy and paste the code, the whole code from here to the bottom to here, and then you make sure that the name of the custom action is the same. So let's make sure that the speech to text is the same, and then click save, and everything will be good to go. And that include, of course, the package with the version. So let's go through the code. You have to have, so you can have has speech, log events. You can log events as well, but I don't need to log events on device, so you can know if this is on device or not. And you can here you can have like pause for seconds. So you can actually say that if no one is speaking for 3 seconds, then automatically stop to record the sound or the speech, and then convert it to text. And this is listened for. So this will actually listen. This is the maximum time that the recorder will listen, or the action will listen. The maximum time in this case is 30 seconds, but you can of course make it longer than that. So it's minimal sound level. So this is the sound of the level. I'm not very familiar with what are the sounds and how you can change them, but yeah, this is the sound of the level of your voice probably. And then we're initiating actually the speech to text, and we are initiating over here. And the next thing we can do is actually, if it is initiated correctly, if this is not no, for example, then go further. And after that, we're actually getting the speech system locate. So in this case, we're actually using the system local. So if your system local is Bulgarian, of course it probably will not. But if your system is like, I don't know, like Japanese or English or I don't know, like any language, it will actually get this language, and it will actually start to recognize this language. Or you can set up the language manually. I think you can actually see the package itself, and I think there are a lot of information how you can set the language, because switching recognition language, and this is actually how you can do it. And then let's move on. So this is the same, pause for, listen for. You can, as I said, you can change the values from here, or you can do it also with an argument. You can also do this, so you can do it with an argument. And here, this is the important part over here, which is ffupstate update. So we have ffupstate update, and this is actually when you start to speak. So when you start to speak, I have the button which will turn to listening. So when you click the button and you have to start to speak, this will actually it will actually convert the button name will convert to listening. And when you're done with it, when you're done listening, when you're done, sorry, speaking, it will actually convert back to talk. And when I go to the page, which is TTS, it's the name of the page, and you can see this button over here. Don't mind about everything here on the page. I actually hidden the things. So the most important part is this. So let me zoom a little bit so you can see better. So the most important part is this TTS and STT and the button. So the button I was talking about, this button, the button is coming from the app state. As you can see, is btn talk. So if you want to have the same code as mine, you have to create this button talk. So it's speech was the name of it. Yeah, so it's speech to text, and then we have this, as I said, btn talk. So btn talk is the text of the button, and then we have the SST. So the SST is another. This is the data type of this will be a string, and the data type of this will be a string as well. Is STT and STT. It's lower cases only. It's actually the recognized words. So if probably you saw at the beginning when I show you how it works, that every time you speak, like every time you say a word, it will actually recognize, like in a second or two, it will actually recognize the word that you're saying, and it will actually go and like it will actually write word by word. It will not write the whole sentence. It will actually write word by word, and you can actually see what you're talking. So that is great as well. So this is the magic, and this is how it is done here. So you save it in the app FF app state. So if you save it in the app state, and the name of the app state is STT. So you need to have this app state. You need to have the app state BT and talk and STT. And the last one, the last app state that you need to have is STT send text. So STT send text is actually the completed text. So when you are done talking, it will actually go over here, and when you're done talking, you know that you're done talking, and this text will be actually the one that will be sent to the ChatGPT AI in this case. But of course, you can actually use it for anything else. You can put it in a text field, or you just output it, or you can do it wherever you want to in this case. And this is actually I think all the red to it. There is a levels of the sound and so on and so forth, but I think you don't need them, to be honest. So this is actually the code that you need. If I go to the app state and go a little bit down, this is the one that I'm talking about. This is STT, and the other is BT talk. This is the button BTN talk, and the default value will be talk, because when you open the page, the button will say talk. And this one will be speak. When you first open the page, it will say speak, and you have to speak. So let me go to the second part, and then we'll combine everything together. So the second part is text to speech. So text to speech, I already talked about this in the video. So it's TTS, probably it's not TTS. Yeah, talk to me is the name of the custom action. It's very simple custom action. You're actually, again, this package, it's free. You can use it for free. This is the action this is the package that I'm talking about. It's it's Flutter TTS, text to speech. And the good thing is that it's compatible with Dart 3. It is compatible with Android, iOS, Mac OS, web, and Linux and Windows. Sorry. So yeah, it's great. That is compatible with all those 5 actually platforms. or operating systems. And then you can, of course, you can copy and paste this code, which will be available in my GitHub. And I think it's already actually available, this code, because like I said, I talked about this, it's here. And then you can copy and paste this code, and you can have an argument. So if you want to, you can have an argument here. You can have like language, for example. And this language will be a string, and you can actually pass the language that you want. So in my case, it's English. But if you want the AI to, not the AI, but the package to talk to you with another language, I tried actually with Bulgarian and Swedish and German, and it all worked fine. So keep in mind that you just need to change this string. And then you need TTS, so you need the app state TTS, and the TTS will be the one that will actually speak back to you. And this TTS, it's coming from, in my case, it's coming from the API. So it's actually when you return something from the API, it will be the text. And I'll pass this into a variable called text, and this text I'll pass it to Flutter TTS speak, and it will actually speak the text, which is great. And then let me actually show you the setup. So let me actually show you the setup. And the setup, like I said, this is the old one, this is the old one. The only setup that you need is a one button only, and this is the button. And when you go to the actions, I have 6 actions, you can see over here. When I open the actions, first I have the microphone permission. And to be honest, you actually don't need this, so you can safely delete it, or you don't use it at all. Because I saw that even if you don't have the permissions for the microphone, even if you don't ask the permission for the microphone, it will still work for the web deployment at least. I haven't actually tested on an actual mobile, but you probably need it for the mobile if I think about it. So it's better safe than sorry, so I will keep it. To be honest, I will keep it. So the first thing, you have the permission, requesting permission microphone, because you need the device needs to have an access to the microphone. And then the second one is the speech to text, which I first show it to you, is the speech to text. This is the custom code that I already explained you what it's doing and how you can use it. So this is the first one, and it's actually, as I said, it's actually saving your output text to STT send text. So this is where is it saving. You don't need to return it. You can. It's actually a good thing to not return anything from this custom action. And the reason for that is that if you actually try to return something, if you put here return, for example, it will not actually return the output. Because, and the reason for that, it's actually, this is constantly rebuilding, like constantly rebuilding, and it will actually return only the first word, which is not what you want. And yeah, so just do it like I did. Just save it in the app state. SS send text is the name of the app state variable that I used. And then we wait. The waiting, it's because there needs to be a time for the code to recognize your words. I actually tried to do it straight without any waiting, and it's not working, because it will actually send to the ChatGPT API. It will actually send a blank or an empty string, which is not what we want, right? So I just put this wait, so it will wait. In this case, I think it's 9,000 milliseconds, which is 9 seconds. You can actually try to adjust that. You can try to adjust it like 5 seconds or maybe less, but I haven't tried less than 5, and I think it will not work. So like I said, you can adjust this, and let me know in the comments actually what is the lower number that you think it works for you, because of course it's as long as low as there is, it's better for the end user, right? Because right now the user needs to wait like 9 seconds or something like that. And then when the 9 seconds are over, then I'm sending the recognized text. I'm sending to the ChatGPT. And the API code I will not show you because, like I said, I showed you in the video. In this video, I showed how you can do it, so I don't want to repeat myself. But I'll just show you the message. Now, the message is actually I used a custom function, and I think I showed the custom function, but let me show you real quickly. We have the message, and the message have the row, and the row is the user, this JSON format, and we have the content, and the content is the actual message, and the actual message is the one that you speaked out, is the one that you talked and converted to text, and it is inside the app state, and the name of it is SS send text, if you remember that. And then you confirm that, and then you send it like this, like available options, and it is just the dollar sign. Just put the dollar sign there, I think. Yeah, and then we have the chat response. So when we send this to the ChatGPT, of course we have a response after that. And the next thing, by default, it will make the chat response success. And then this is, as I said, this is by default. When you include an API inside FlutterFlow, it will automatically put you a random name here. I just renamed this output name variable because to be more readable. But you can do it as well. It's a chat response. In my case, you can put whatever name you like, and then chat report. If the API is successful, then you go over here. If it's not successful, don't do it. Don't do anything. But if it's successful, then we need the TTS. So we're actually taking the TTS and the response from the ChatGPT, and this is a JSON body, JSON path, and it's a custom path, and the custom path, it's a $ dot choices and brackets 0 brackets, which means take the first, because this is a list of choices, and take the first choice from the choices. And it will be always it will be always one. I don't know why it will be always one thing in the list, one item or one choice. I don't know why they put it in a list, to be honest, but probably there is a reason about it. Probably, I'm not sure why. And then we have dot message, and then we have dot content. And then this will actually return us the text of the answer of the ChatGPT, and the last thing will be to put this text inside to actually run the custom action that will actually read this text. It will actually take this text, put it in the Flutter TTS .speak, and it will actually speak the text. So yeah, this is about it. This is everything that you have to know about this. I'll put the code in the GitHub. You can take it from there. This was the old version when I write to the ChatGPT and then I see the answer here. I remove that. I put a conditional visibility, as you can see here, so it's not visible. This button is also not visible. It's only visible this what I'm talking about. Like I said, is this one over here is the second text, and the first text is actually this one on above, is the answer from the ChatGPT. And then we have the button. Like I said, it's talk. When I press it, it is converted to something else. It's converted to listening. And then the last thing is the actual widget. So we have the actual widget, which you can use as well. So from here you can set the language. For example, you can set start speaking, stop speaking, and so on and so forth. But I think this is a little bit complex, so probably you don't need it. And I just made it a little bit more simpler than that. Just with a click of one button, everything will happen at the same time. So that's about it. Before we actually go, I want to thank you everyone for watching this video. And I want to actually tell you that every Wednesday I do a live sessions. They're actually going, I think, better and better every week. So there are like 5 places every week. Next week, you can see only we have 3 places. So yeah, be hurry about it if you want to join the live session and to talk with me, or you can chat with me in the chat. If you're feeling shy, you don't want to talk with me, uh, you can go to the chat session. But I think it's always good to talk and then to actually show your project if you have any questions about FlutterFlow. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.